On November 6, 2020, the headlines that rocked the rap industry revealed that Davon Bennett, who was popularly known as the rapper King Von, was hit in a crossfire. While family, friends, and fans of the rapper hoped that he would walk out of the incident alive, they were beyond devastated when it was announced that the rapper had passed away. Clouded with heartbreak and grief, the loved ones of Davon Bennett sought consolation in the rapper's last few moments alive. Just 24 hours before the tragic passing of King Von, he had a video interview with DJ Academics on November 5th, 2020, where he revealed a lot about becoming a gangster superstar from O-Block, as well as his relationship with other rappers from the industry. During the interview, King Von revealed that Parkway Gardens, which rap fans have all come to know as O-Block, was forever going to be home to him.
No, you gotta understand, I've always been comfortable in Parkway, you see what I'm saying? That's my block. These are people I really grew up around for like more than 10 years, you see what I'm saying? So, man, it's all love, especially now after
According to King Von, despite becoming a popular rapper, he enjoyed going back to O-Block to give out money to the mothers of his homies that had passed away, as well as to buy out the candy store for the kids. With the fame and wealth King Von acquired when he was alive, one would assume that being from the deadliest neighborhood in all of Chicago, his life would be threatened each time he visited his hometown. But just a few hours before he passed away in the city of Atlanta, King Von revealed that he would rather be in O-Block and have a fight on his block anytime, any day, than be anywhere else. He may have experienced some jealousy from gangsters within O-Block, but according to King Von, he was never fazed by the jealousy. As a matter of fact, he knew some of his homies on the block didn't like his success, but they never came around him to confront him or spread their hate. He believed such jealous people could keep the hate in their chest or tell it to whoever cared. All that mattered to King Von was that the jealousy or hate never got to him, because he was always going to confront it the street way with a gun in his hands.
Yeah, it be like that though. It's gonna always be somebody hate, but don't nobody play with me like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm already the person who I am for real. You see what I'm saying? So don't nobody, like, if they gonna hold it to their chest or something, or they'll tell it to somebody else, then they'll make sure it probably don't get back to me. And if it do, I'm a confront them about that stuff. But if they ain't nobody, it ain't nothing. It's gonna be them just talking.
Being one of the deadliest gangsters in O-Block, it was no surprise that King Von would want to handle homies like that the street way. But what King Von made clear before he passed away was that O-Block wasn't as bad as the media painted it to be. When asked if people should be scared of O-Block, the deadly gangster's response was quite shocking.
Real quick question too, especially even about O-Blocks. A lot of people have a lot of fascination about it. A lot of people, like, even when they hear about it, they're just scared of it. Like, for a fan who, just like, they're fascinated just where you from and like where like so many great rappers and just great people we know are from. Should they be scared of O-Block? Like, is it like a terrifying place? Like,
nah, we gonna stop. It ain't nothing like that.
King Von went on to reveal that most of the gangster activities that go down in O-Block aren't even caused by the members of O-Block, just people from other neighborhoods who happen to have issues with the gangsters on O-Block, with most of them being from their rival block, 63rd. It was no surprise that King Von would speak on his rival block, 63rd, just a few hours before he passed away. But while speaking about 63rd, he didn't pay any mind to them or even regard them as worthy opponents. He said in the interview, "It's just an area."
So fans is wondering what is 63rd and why it seems like you just hate the number 63. What's up? Just give whatever your explanation is.
I don't know. It's just an area we're not from. You know what I'm saying? We on 64th and 65th, and we don't want to get you confused by the number that's before. So we stand strong over. That's we not from over there. So we not the number 60.
He proceeds to say that his Black Disciple set members are only from 64th down to 66. When asked about how he's managed to live so close to people he didn't like, King Von went on to reveal that it was all fate and it all had to do with whoever dealt the cards. We are sure to give you quality stories straight from our inside sources on the streets of major rap cities. Just make sure to subscribe and stay tuned to Rap Hive to get first-hand information. While he was alive, King Von had years-long beef with the gangsters from 63rd, who belonged to the Gangster Disciple set. The beef between these gang sets began when they were all teenagers, and up until they became successful rappers in the industry, they continued to beef with each other. In fact, one gangster rapper who King Von beefed up until he passed away was 63rd Street rapper FBG Duck. The beef between the rappers has been traced to as far back as 2012, when the two exchanged words on Twitter on how they would end each other's lives. In the exchange between the two rappers, King Von had asked FBG Duck what he was doing, to which Duck replied, Hey, King Von from the Wick on 62nd and Rose, where you at? Trying to slide through? LOL. King Von replied in a tweet where he wrote, at FBG Duck, hell yeah man, put me in the video. I'm getting that die L's on David. FBG Duck also had threats for King Von, as he said, at King Von from the Wick, bet you God drop your L's for Lamron. Then after the video headshot, pound boom. King Von responded in a follow-up tweet where he claimed that he would never be taken out by the gangsters on 63rd. He wrote, at FBG Duck, LMAO, I'ma get hit by 2 trains before I let a lame like you do me. You should be worried about me, cause y'all is foo-foo. King Von and FBG Duck had their differences for years, and it didn't end until one of them bit the dust. King Von talked about FBG Duck so much that even in his final 24 hours alive, he couldn't help but say a thing or two about FBG Duck during his interview. While speaking with King Von, DJ Academics couldn't help but ask him about the relationship he had with FBG Duck. According to DJ Academics, he wanted King Von to tell the truth about whether he really made up with FBG Duck before he passed away.
If people want to know on some real don't troll with me, Von. Keep it 100. You know you in Duck didn't make up. His mom came out. They said you and Duck.
Gang, how you gonna tell?
63rd rapper FBG Duck was one of the very few gangsters from his set who wasn't afraid of King Von. When many rappers were scared to diss King Von and O Block, FBG Duck was the only rapper from 63rd who did so boldly and without fear. He called out King Von at every chance he got on social media, in interviews, and even on diss tracks. FBG Duck once shared screenshots of his conversation with King Von, where he confronted King Von for name dropping him on his track Tucker to the O. King Von said in the text, I'm really helping you out, you feel me? Cause you're ain't hitting on nothing. Now MF's talking about you, you feel me? You welcome, Goofy. To which FBG Duck replied, you really needed to mention me for your to-do number like all your other silly. Boy, I've been a topic. You know that just say you a fan, lil' BD. FBG Duck never stopped dissing King Von and members of O Block until he was taken out on the streets of Chicago. In the last interview King Von did before he died, he was asked about whether he truly reconciled with FBG Duck before his tragic passing, as he claimed in a tweet that he shared to social media a month after FBG Duck was taken out. In the tweet, King Von wrote, me and Duck settled our differences right before he passed. 100. He was talking about bringing everybody together as a whole and changing the community for the better. I'ma still stand on that every step of the way. I'ma be thinking of you, even though you diss my dead homies and family. King Von doubled down on his statements during his interview with DJ Academics. He maintained that he and FBG Duck went to school together, and all of the beef between them only happened when they got older.
They just make it look real crazy to y'all. These just really people we all went to school with.
That shit do look crazy to me. I kid you not.
That's how they make it. But
like, yo,
you gotta understand, like you said, they right there down the street. We went to school. It ain't just it, you know. And then it's just that we ain't cool no more. It was, but it ain't that serious. Like it's to the point where
However, according to King Von, they became rappers with a voice and a fan base. They decided to cut back on the violence and reach an understanding between themselves.
Let's talk about it. It ain't fuck that. Both of us rappers, we can figure out. We need to stop all the violence, all this. We got a voice. You see what I'm saying? Like we tell Chicago far back, tell Chicago far back.
According to King Von, he was saddened by the news of FBG Duck's demise. While King Von spoke vastly on his beef with FBG Duck, the biggest mystery from the last 24 hours of King Von's life remains the fact that he addressed his beef with NBA Youngboy during his final interview and somehow managed to get taken out by a man from NBA Youngboy's camp the following day. During his interview with King Von, DJ Academics chipped in his beef with NBA Youngboy, and it all came out of the blue. According to DJ Academics, he heard the word on the street, and people claimed that King Von and NBA Youngboy had beef. But on King Von's account, that wasn't the case.
People told me you and Youngboy was beefing or something like that.
I know they
said something about, what happened, Von? What's going on with you, man?
During this final interview, King Von revealed that he didn't have any personal issues with NBA Youngboy, and whatever was happening between them was all female drama from the women they have been involved with and speculations from fans on the internet.
A lot of people sometimes, by the way, I've covered, Chicago a lot.
Who ain't authentic, man? You say what you say what you, who ain't authentic? That's what I'm getting.
No, listen, all that, I listen to your music. I'm gonna kid you not, like, you gonna see when I post my year end who I listen to. If you not at least top 4 on it, that mean
I see Melly was on your shit last time. I was watching your shit.
Tell you I listen to you a lot, but wait, here's the thing. So
King Von, however, concluded by saying it was nothing to worry about. But with the passing of King Von in the hands of NBA Youngboy's goons, exactly 24 hours after the interview, people couldn't help but investigate whether NBA Youngboy and King Von truly had beef that went down behind the cameras and on the streets. It turned out that they did. In an interview, O-Black rapper 6400 Breezy revealed that NBA Youngboy, alongside King Von and Lil Durk, actually had beef over women, but it was NBA Youngboy who kicked it off after he dissed Lil Durk's fiance on a track.
Youngboy even went out his way to diss Durk's fiance, and Durk dissed his Youngboy favorite baby mama. So when we men here, when the get involved, and especially the that you care about and love and shit, that's like a super deal breaker.
According to 600 Breezy, NBA Youngboy was very particular about the women he was with, especially his baby mamas, and he never wanted any rapper to be around them. So when 600 Breezy had a fling with one of NBA Youngboy's baby mothers, NBA Youngboy called King Von and told him he was going to send hitmen to take out 600 Breezy if he didn't leave his location at that moment.
I supposed to not like Youngboy because I was with a female that he with, and Von calls me, like my homies can vouch for me, but he called me from Just Blow phone, and Youngboy is supposed to call him and told him, oh yeah, yo homie over there with my, I'm finna send some niggas over there to shoot the crib up. Talking about me, I ain't been out of jail for 2-3 weeks, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really, so I'm damn.
Rapper 600 Breezy believes that NBA Youngboy must have had King Von taken out over this issue involving females. According to him, there have been different stories about why King Von attacked Quando Rondo and NBA Youngboy's crew on the fateful night of the passing at the club. But the news in their camp was that King Von had confronted Quando Rondo for texting his girlfriend, Asian Doll, known fully well that NBA Youngboy would not entertain anyone from King Von camp texting the mother of his kids.
Yeah, with the clump, but
that particular night,
people don't know about that situation either. It's a lot of stories saying Quando was in Asian DM after he was just with Von and videos and buddy kicking it.
I seen the studio picture of Von hanging out with Youngboy's baby mother.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of this, man, like.
Although 600 Breezy may be right about the details of that fateful night, Quando Rondo, who was present at the scene, had a completely different narration on how things played out in the last 2 to 3 hours King Von spent alive. Finally, on November 6, 2020, after a trip from New York City down to Atlanta that fateful day, King Von found himself on the wrong side of a gun. Unfortunately for King Von, he passed away from the injuries he sustained during the incident. The tragic passing of King Von made public a great rift that had been brewing in the rap industry between NBA Youngboy and members of the Only the Family crew.
So Youngboy been doing behind the scenes, like picking with people that so to his fans, he's just like, oh, like that's Youngboy, we love him, he don't do no wrong, but he doing a little.
The news report on the incident that cost King Von's life claimed that the O-Black rapper had gone out partying at the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta when a fight broke out between King Von's group and Quando Rondo's crew. But the fight soon escalated from a fistfight, as not only were punches thrown, but shots were also fired. Unfortunately, King Von was caught in the middle of the crossfire, and he sustained some bullet wounds to his torso. King Von was quickly rushed to the hospital by members of his crew, but sadly, it was too late to save his life. The spotlight soon came on the person who fired the weapon that took out King Von, and after much investigation, it was revealed that the person behind the incident was none other than Quando Rondo and his associate Lil Tim, who were all associates of NBA Youngboy. It was at the revelation of Youngboy's involvement in King Von's passing that fans truly began to wonder about the relationship between the rappers. After facing constant backlash regarding the passing of King Von, Quando Rondo was forced to give his own account of that fateful night that King Von passed away. According to him, they were all at a club when he told his brother, Lil Tim, aka Timothy Leaks, he preferred to stay in the car while the rest of them went on to the party. I walked to the car. I tell my brother, I say. According to Quando, after having this conversation with Lil Tim, he went to the back of the car to get some sleep. Quando Rondo narrated how Lil Tim stayed with him while he slept, until a stranger attacked them. My brother said, Lil Tim told me. He said, Lil bruh, I'm not about to let you sit in no car. According to Quando Rondo, just as he was about to get into the back of the vehicle to get some sleep, another vehicle pulled up beside them, and the men in the vehicle acted sketchy. He was forced to stand his ground with Lil Tim to see what the men who pulled up wanted with them. According to Quando Rondo, as soon as the vehicle pulled over, he saw a group of guys coming out from the club, but he didn't think they were coming to attack him. He assumed they were just regular people going about their business. But he soon came to realize that they were not regular individuals when one of them hit him. It was at this point that Lil Tim had to get involved to protect Quando. According to Quando Rondo, everything became so chaotic and he couldn't pinpoint where the gunfire was coming from. But luckily for him, Lil Tim had his back and kept him safe. And just as he narrated, Lil Tim protected him, as he was the one who allegedly fired the hit that took King Von's life. Along with Quando Rondo's account of that night, witnesses at the club claimed that King Von and his crew were the aggressors in the fight, and they had threatened Quando Rondo's guys, which caused the dispute to escalate. According to Quando Rondo, prior to the tragic incident, he had never had words with King Von or any of his crew, and at the time the fight began, he didn't even know that he was being attacked by King Von or members of the OTF, and he had no idea what he could have possibly done to stir up such a huge fight. One of the last few things that King Von did before he passed away was release his debut studio album. While his interview with DJ Academics detailed his life and career, releasing his studio album was one of his greatest achievements in the hours that led up to his death. According to the word on the street on that fateful day, King Von had gone to the club to have an album release party for his studio album, Welcome to O Block, when the tragic incident that cost his life broke out. Speaking with DJ Academics, King Von released that his favorite song on the album was Gleesh Place.
Like Gleesh Place kind of ringing off.
Gleesh Place, you fuck with Gleesh Place?
Yeah.
Hit a tall gate. Wait. Well, no, yeah,
So wait, how you even make that song? Obviously, you know, some people they know about Gleesh. Like, how do you even come up with a concept of that song? Or you even come up with like
I ain't write that. I just went there and did it, and that's what came to my head. Like, I was just.
The Welcome to O Block album was the only official album that King Von released when he was still alive, and it sold roughly 44,000 total album equivalent units in its second week on the chart as it landed on number 5. The album served as a reference to the tough 6400 block of South Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive on Chicago's South Side, which we've all come to know as O Block. One of the highlights of the final 24 hours of King Von's life was his interview with DJ Academics, and while they discussed a lot of things, Academics asking King Von to get baptized just 24 hours before he died will always be a mystery to fans.
You get baptized, I'm showing up.
I can't be the good guy one time.
I want you to get baptized.
They gonna try to drown me in that water, boy. I ain't doing that. I ain't slow.
Oh my God. All right. Okay. So
I ain't going like that. I
like,
know how that shit work.
all right.
Do you think King Von would have been alive today if he got baptized like Academics asked him to do? And could the beef between King Von and NBA Youngboy that led to him being taken out truly be over the women in their lives?